Alright, what is up? We are here with another VOD today. This is gonna be for one of my friends, Ryan. He's playing Ryze on Split. I don't know exactly what elo this is. It looks like gold slash plat, so it could be plat. Ryze on Split is really fucking good. We'll see how you play it. I think starting B is fine. Typically on pistol run I like to start A just because a lot of teams 5-man A. And if since you already have Sage and especially Cypher around B, it's probably don't need as much stall on this site. Yeah, so here your utility is really good, especially your bot and your nade. You do want to kind of get ready to use it. Good combo mid is raise nade stage slow. It's pretty OP, so when she throws it, if it looks like it's slow, you can follow it with a nade in almost the exact same trajectory. Holding this ship B is kind of meaningless because you should be with Sage and Cypher should be toggling his camera, playing more on B site. The goal, since Cypher can't die here, and if you die, it's not as bad. Since if Cypher dies, he loses all his util too. This bot is fine. Throughout this review, I'll probably give you a lot of comments on just optimal utility usage, and if I see anything that's not quite optimal, I'll let you know, regardless of whether it's okay or not. Maximizing efficiency is the best. You also use the camera on B side, so you know Cypher is towards B. Now it looks like it is a B take instead. Your teammate's gonna give you any numbers on A, which kind of sucks. See what happened here again. Your teammate dies in ropes, that's fine. Your A player dies. That's pretty unfortunate. Let me go back a bit. I need to see where you used your nade. I didn't pay enough attention. Oh, you need it here. This nade's okay. This nade is okay, and this bot is okay. I'd say it's getting enough value, but if you're gonna bot here, you should be ready to get some value off it. So let's say you throw a bot, and you can maybe find a kill off it. So you should be at least holding the smoke, or there is a world where you could be inside the Cypher cage and just get ready to kill someone with the bot. There's a high chance you get 2 kills if there are a couple of them through mid. They're in a little choke here, so it's not against your favor. Anyways, we'll skip forward a bit. Twitch is 10 seconds back and forth, so not as much skipping. Anyways, RMB Heaven, fantastic. Your Sage leaves, Cypher gets spammed through a smoke. Okay. If I were you, I'd have gone in the smoke earlier. So Sage runs away, Cypher dies, and you see the smoke. And your first instinct should be to get in the smoke, since almost always the person who's holding the smoke should win. This guy lost you, you're just faster than him, but yeah, it's better to be the one in the smoke. So when you go in there later, you can almost guarantee that there's somebody in here. This is in here, you fuck him, nice. Also at this point, if you had your bot, it would have been really good. So if you didn't want to use your bot mid here, if you used the bot here, you would have gone a lot of value off of it. So it is like you don't want to just throw shit for fun. You want it to do something. You want it to get a kill or do a ton of damage. And if it can't do either, then you can hold it. It's not the end of the world, since if you throw a bot that they can just shoot, it doesn't really do anything. Not saying yours did that, since your bot went through a smoke, and whenever bots go through smokes in little corridors, it's really likely to explode, which is great. So I think your bot was okay, but if you did want to save it and you had it here, it would have gone direct value too. You know the nade for... Okay, so I don't think you're nading backside, which is great. You might know, you might not know, but if you nade around this wall from where you started it, we're running earlier, if you nade against this wall, it'll land around default for the plant. If you don't know this nade, you should go inside the custom game and figure it out, but I'm going to assume you know it. You need backside. Cool, cool, cool. That fight's a good win. What the fuck is that guy doing? You kind of RNG'd him a little bit, but you know, it's okay. You lose this round? No, you don't. Okay, great. Yeah, you popped off. You won the round. Good job. Nothing more to say here. So yeah, okay. So let's imagine you threw this bot. Okay, You throw this bot, it has to bounce on the stairs, bounce again on the stairs, and then it might see somebody mid. This whole time they can just shoot it. That bot is a complete waste. So those are the kind of that's the kind of utility usage you want to lessen. Because end of the day, if you don't use it, it carries in the next round, right? And you save the money. So it's better to don't try to like save it every round, but it's better to save it in that case than just, you know, waste a useless bot. Since you can know they're mid, you know that if you did it on that timing before Sage walled, it wouldn't have given you any real info. Like this bot, you're not trying to do anything with it. It goes over the wall. Yeah, so what? Like, it's not like they can't shoot the bot, you know, it's just useless. So better yet, you can use it on a closer timing when they're running up mid. Or if you're gonna throw that bot, if you combo it with a nade, I'd be okay with it. But experience tells me you won't get too much value from that either, since they'll just kill the bot and run away from the nade. But something like that is a lot better than just checking the bot and leaving, since it's a waste. And the bot is OP, especially against pistols. Okay, somehow the bot blows up, but it should not blow up there because they're far enough away and they have enough bullets to not die to it, but they can't aim. I don't know, whatever. This nade, I don't like this nade because you don't hear anything mid. If you heard something mid, I'd be fine with it. Better yet, you jiggle with your nade out, and then when you see someone, you nade the little crack in the wall, and then they can't pass or they have to take damage to pass. And you might even get a kill here if the enemy's trying to like 5-in it. But I think you see what I'm saying on maximizing your utility value. You're not really getting much value from your utilities, so you can do these little things to help maximize it. I also don't know where you're leaving to. The fighting is mid, right? And your Sage is still fighting, so just play with her and get ready to trade. Like if you were on this wall, or if you were behind Sage, or even tucked in this corner here ready to fight mid, you might have gone a kill or two and Sage maybe wouldn't have died. Yeah, you could have just been playing here earlier and it would have been fine. Personally, once your guy dies from ramps, I just peek out. You need the info. You can't keep stalling. You're gonna maybe you'll catch someone lurking here, but like this is like a hard bait play, and if you just peeked him earlier, you probably would just kill him. So you want to gauge your options. Typically, when I hear someone running up like that, I'll take the initiative and swing on them, since that's when you know exactly where they are, and they don't think you're going to swing them. Like imagine you're just running up against this wall and you're getting ready to clear like heaven and someone just swings you from the top of the wall. You're gonna win with a pretty decent chance. But he's already looking at heaven with this crosshair, and you being on this wall just puts you a little bit higher, you know, for him. It's not as drastic of a change as if you swung into him. Anyways, you guys int the fuck out of this run, I'm not gonna lie. But this is in large part because one, Sage died, but two, you weren't in a position to help Sage, and you have no info on what's going on mid. Your teammates aren't commenting, which is, you know, bad, fine, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but if you just like jiggled a bit, got some info, you could have figured out more. Throwing the blind nade and not actually getting the info just to, you know, is limits your max value as a player. Not gonna watch your teammates play as per usual. By sheriff here, that's fine. On Ryze, I think the shotguns are quite nice. You have a lineup, that's cool. So this nade is like, I think if you comboing with Omni Flash, it can work out. I don't know if you did it or commed it intentionally. If you did, I'm okay with it. Your nade is late though, which is a big issue with this nade. Like if this nade is a clear timing nade, and if you don't have the timing for it, it's not as good. Okay, it actually comes out together. Omen's waiting for you, so I guess you did calm the play. This is okay, but I would wish you would have. I think this play works out better if Omen flashes instantly, or like pretty much instantly, and you nade pretty much instantly too. I think this delay, if they're rushing A, is enough for them to beat the nade and beat the flash. Anyways, that's fine. That play is I like that play. I think obviously it's better with like a breach or something, but that play can definitely get some nade value. This bot, okay, if you throw that bot, like no, come on, like make sure you think about it, right? Your teammates are both here watching you, and you're going to bot. It has to travel all the way down ramp first. I don't know if it was a misclick. If it was a misclick, you know, I'm blaming you for no reason, but yeah.
One push through A. He might be heaven. Careful, Viper.
You coming to the side is okay because you think there's nobody A. Once you get a hang of how a team plays, you can make the decisions easier. But if you find they look like they don't really 5-man things, and they do kind of work some general kind of default with some like one side being heavier, and then they pick a side to hit. So in that case, you probably don't rotate, especially since you have Cypher Sage, and look, Sage leaves to go back A, and now you're on B. So if you just stayed on A, you would have left less of a gap. Because you don't want to get too over eager. I always say that in the beginning, it's best to just assume they're going to 5-man and play bad, and you can just rotate fast. But since you've already seen that they don't just instantly 5-man a site and like they're not super readable, then you should probably just ink your site a little bit harder.
Smoke B.
You take B. So there are a couple trains of thought here. The spot is there's a world this spot is good, there's a world this spot is bad. I think this spot is not optimal because you don't hear anything before you throw it. Yeah, I hear nothing in this whole period, even walking through the smoke around CT. I don't hear a single footstep. So if you don't hear anything, then don't bot. You want to bot, like, this bot is only good if you can get them like right when they're on site and it pops on them. If it just goes down a bit and they shoot it from, you know, like around here, it doesn't really get you any value. So couple like thought process here. First, you can listen and then bot if they get close, and then you can swing and maybe get some value. Cool. Second, you can just like swing at the smoke faster, since you don't have like a fast timing, as in a okay, sorry, you have a fast timing. You don't have a unique timing because it's not like they won't think there's somebody CT. But if you play outside of the smoke, like just right out the smoke, and you're just holding this angle and they peek you, you can get a kill and run away. That's a huge possibility. And whether you want or not you want to commit this bot is up to you. But personally, I just opt to hold the angle and try to get the kill. I like holding angles enough for me to go for those plays. If you don't, then maybe what you're doing here is better. But if you don't like holding angles, you probably shouldn't buy a deagle just in general. It's an angle holder gun. But anyways, that's it. Just listing some thoughts out for you, some options you have. Bot somehow does pop somewhere, but yeah, it shouldn't be popping. The guy's close to the smoke, so if you went with the deagle play, you would have died. But totally up to you. It's a personal preference thing. But yeah, like here you go from CT to heaven. Like just take the CT fight. Like you have to go CT eventually, right? And I know it feels safer to go heaven after your teammates, but you don't have to like bait this hard, especially since you're already low. Like just go die. Find someone for your team. Hope your teammates are gonna trade you. You have the deagle, they have specters, you should die first.
Sage shield. Oh.
I think coming here for the Sage shield is just unnecessary since you're already on like a retake time pressure. It's just, you know, like it's like a... not something you have to do.
One enemy remaining.
Now, okay, as soon as you... okay, so... in this round, it doesn't matter too much because since you win so heavily. But just watch. So, one enemy is remaining. Okay. As soon as Viper clears back sight, you look heaven and CT. This guy's your diffuser is not going to die from B main. Okay, it is literally impossible. So just look heaven, look CT, and if the guy's like what if the guy's like walking out right now? Like you don't know, right? For sure. So, just turn it faster. This is like a game sense thing, or it's like a processing numbers and processing like what's going on. But as soon as this guy's sticking it, you just need to look heaven and CT. B main doesn't even matter. He can't come up without making a ton of noise. Yeah, it works out for you. Fantastic. You get a Spectre. Okay. Bring this nade line up again. Okay? It's on time this time, but yeah. Okay, now this is like you don't hear anything. You're not using any util with it. You're just throwing a nade for fun. Like, it's such a waste. Like, why use it like this, and why not save it for something that actually matters? Like, what if someone's in a corner and your nade will like kill them? You know, it's like there's like so many worlds where the nade could just get so much more value than this, and this is such a gamble. And once you start doing it a little bit, they stop being as readable, or they stop walking into it. So limit this like maybe once or twice per half max, or per game pretty much. So that means I think it's an okay play. I don't think it's a great play, and I don't want to do it unless you like know they're like 5-manning stuff and Omen's going to commit the flashes. Otherwise, it's like, they can hear it, right? They're not deaf. Start of the round too. So far, it looks like they're playing heavy mid. What this means is you can let Sage know. Let's do like a slow nade play. Slow nade is your biggest potential value in this game with this champion. Okay, that's the play you're going for synergy with your teammates. when you have Ryze and Sage, you typically play Ryze and Sage B Heaven, Cypher on site, and your two other dudes play however they want. Like I said, I start pistol round on a ramp just because it's really OP, and I jiggle down ramp, and I have a nade out and jiggle, and then I nade on a timing, bot on timing, whatever. Then I can peek sight from Heaven, cool. But apart from that pistol round on A, I pretty much always play B Heaven or mid with Sage. And Cypher should just be on B site. He shouldn't be Heaven player with Sage. It doesn't... Like, Cypher isn't supposed to die. He's supposed to lock down B main. And if they take Heaven, he can push B main, or he can get some value. But yeah, the setup is really wonky. I think it's pretty poor in general. So, okay, think of it this way. Enemy team just killed 2 of your players B Heaven, and you are CT pretty quick, okay? You have a timing here. So why are you telling them where you are with your bot? And this bot is not going to hit anybody, okay? It's going to do nothing but tell them where you are, and then they're going to shoot it, and then they're going to use utility on you or just kill you. Like, imagine if you just peeked it earlier, you would have seen Reyna, like, crossing, not looking at you. Free kill. You have to recognize these timings you have and what the enemy is thinking. They just killed both your B Heaven players, okay? There is no world they think you're also B Heaven. And now you just peek and get a kill, and then you can back off, and then you can bot if you want. Then you can go CT. If you take B Heaven, you can double satchel sight, like all these little things. But the way you did it, it just... Tell them where you are. You're holding in the most likely corner they're going to pre-fire, by the way, if they actually come clear you. And just have no value. If you satchel here, it means you can't double satchel sight. And retaking B really... I don't want to say it's good, because it is kind of like, it's something that abuses bad players, but everybody's bad. Okay, so you can just double satchel from like around here. You can put first satchel on rafters, and you can double satchel like all the way in the backside, wherever you want. You can get on top of the box. You can get on top of this triple stack box. It doesn't matter. If you can't do it that far, practice it. You have to know to double satchel as Ryze, or you're losing a lot of potential value. And these plays like destroy like uncoordinated players. So everybody. It'll get you so many free kills on people, like almost no matter what rank they are. Yeah, that's about it. Just some feedback. Whatever, you lose that, not a huge deal. Once Omen fights and you go CT with him, it's fine. Like, you're trying to trade him to win this round. If you're actually trying, okay, so if you're actually trying to win this round, you have to take Heaven control, and you have to try to like get picks on site. There's no world you're winning this round by going 2 CT, and because the Heaven player can flank you, he can stay in Heaven, he can jerk off. Like, if you don't fight the difficult fights, you cannot win this round. So the only chance you have of winning this round is taking this difficult fight. And if you don't want to take it, then go save. It's that simple, right? If you don't, you win the round if you take these hard fights. And if you don't take these hard fights, you're going to lose. So just save or go for it, you know? You can do it alone. You don't need Omen with you. If he doesn't understand these things, right? So it's not his job. It's for you to tell him if you want to. You move Cypher, B main, nice. I think I heard you start the comm. Again, like, don't bot over the wall, it just gets no value. Or if it does get value, it's not supposed to get value. Okay, you're Omen blind, like 3 people mid. He had to get a ghost, that sucks. Yeah, so now you're thinking about how to use your utility. This nade's backside, awesome. I would combo nade with ulti, and then you can bot after if you want. But you want to use the nade popping. So once the nade hits that back corner, you know they have to be around here. If you can shoot an ult like right here behind the billboard and behind the elbow, odds are you're going to kill somebody. If you just hit X and then shoot it like around where this like cursor is, the tip of the cursor, the finger. If you can get an ult there and throw a nade there, you guarantee like at least 100 damage, like for sure on one person. And then you can bot after, double satchel in. Personally, I would nade there, ult there, double satchel in, and you know, maybe you'll be faker. You get a jump out of smoke, and if they don't like pay attention to you and they're too busy dodging your util, you could land behind them and get like 4 kills. You could solo win this round right here so easily. You offer none of that, and then you go CT. It's okay, but like I said, I just I painted a picture for you, and it's not a quote unquote good play. Okay, like nobody's gonna tell you this is the proper way to play Valorant, but from personal experience and just from knowledge of how people in this elo and even elos above this are, that play, if done properly, will almost guarantee you kills. Okay, the only weakness to this play is if they kill you when you're satcheling, which means you're satcheling probably poorly since you move pretty fast if you do it right, or if there's somebody in the smoke already. And both these things are pretty much near impossible since people usually don't go in the smoke that early, and the only person who could is Jet. You would have heard her, so that would have probably been your better play. You should also check this right corner no matter what. This totally rolled Yoru, throws the fake footsteps and walks in the corner, right? He double kills you on Cypher there.
site. Yeah, good shit.
Retake works out for you, but yeah, either way, that play, that's how you get your highlight plays. That's how you get your 4Ks. You want to carry games, that's how you carry games. You have to identify situations where you can just solo win scenarios and go from. But apart from that, it works out. So no big deal. But you do want to think about things like that if you can. So this Sage slows way too early, and it throws 2 slows. This is fucking awful. Okay, just off the bat, they come mid knowing Sage walls, and then if Sage slows like this, and especially if it does it all the time, like they're just going to wait. They don't have to go. There's a minute and a year on the clock, right? So you can tell her to like hold her slows. You can tell her to delay her wall. A lot of times I'll say something like, you can use your wall when you based on sound. Like you don't have to wall until they're almost up. Like if they're bottom mid, you don't need a wall. You only need a wall once they get near the stairs. It's not like anybody is going to be close enough to get on the wall. It doesn't really matter, you know. And then if she has better slows, like on like audio or a bit later, if you nade with her slow, that shit is insane. People cannot run from it. They're going to take damage or die. But that slow, this bot probably doesn't get value. Like what is? Just think about it. Think about playing against a Ryzhe player who bots downstairs like this. Like come on, that shit's doing nothing, right? So always have that in mind. I just think about it from your POV. Like when you want to be able to see these things as you play. Like this isn't something that needs to be taught to you, right? This applies to every agent. Think about how people use abilities that fuck you the hardest. So like Ryzhe bot, I'm sure you even botted like through a smoke and it insta pops on you. Like that's the kind of stuff that you want. Or like you even botted and the Ryzhe swings and you have to choose and you can't choose. She tags you 40 and the bot kills you. And even if you kill her, it's still like 1-for-1. That kind of stuff is what you want, right? You don't want to do this predictable shit. Like think about all the bots you've shot and that are fucking useless. That's what you don't want to do, and that's what you're doing. So that's how you want to approach this. And if you do that, you can learn and improve, just like reflecting off your own deaths, which is optimal. Also, yeah, don't nade this trip if you don't mind. You can nade his util. They're through. This nade is okay. I don't know how that kills Jet. The Jet dashed forward and ran back, but yeah,
Cypher.
that nade works out. Timing is fine. You could have naded a tiny bit earlier, would have been even better, but it's fine. Because as soon as they hit the Cypher cages, you can pretty much get ready to nade. All they're going to commit, especially once the Reno Flash comes down the Omen Smoke, but your timing was pretty quick regardless. You go back mid to find the Lurker. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, he heals an off angle. You die. That's okay. I think a better way to peek is to get on the wall and do a quick little jiggle. And if you're on the wall, you can see more into that little crevice too, into this little gap. Anyways, your team's playing yada yada. Fantastic. They win a 2v1.
Favorite thing to do.
Wow, there's for it.
Oh no, I'm gonna beat your ass for doing this. But yeah, like I said, that bot not a fan. They actually don't play anyone mid, so this gives you a lot of info. But I don't think this is a good bot because this bot out of 10 rounds, this bot should get you like success like this like once or twice, which means it's a bad bot since it has a 20% like usefulness rate, right? But yeah, it works for you there. So knowing that you rotate A, you should tell your teammates to rotate too.
I'm just gonna head on site.
Honestly, if they aren't defaulting mid, there's probably one lurking their max.
They're getting orb.
You know they can be heaven. Fantastic.
Cancelled.
Trying to think what you're nading on.
Probably walking.
I don't know if you're hearing Omen or somebody close to you. If you hear someone close, this nade is good. If you hear Omen, then probably save your nade for sight or something. Like your nade's off the plant guaranteed to be thorough, right? Correct. So that is guaranteed value that is going to happen this round. So the only situation this nade is better is if you somehow catch him going in, and one of your teammates is peeking. So even if you catch him going in, and 2 go in and 3 get stopped by your nade, and Omen doesn't peek, the nade doesn't do anything since it doesn't like really get any value because no one's using it. So if you throw this nade, it's a bit harder for it to get value. It's more guaranteed based on the plant. This is more of a, you have to experiment with this and see how much damage your nade does later on, and like kind of think if this is a good nade or not. Since you only really get one, you don't want to use it too willy-nilly, if you know what I mean.
Cancelled.
You're playing against people who actually like run a couple like fakes and they actually default usually. That's unique. You should know this is A now. Fantastic. Just go. You don't need a BB. Cypher has everything up. Cypher has mid and everything is stripped on B. You don't need to be here.
Oh, you want time through the wall. Ramp. Bring the ramp.
Yeah, imagine you stayed a little bit more and you might have been able to kill Reyna already, and this would be a 4v2 over a 4v3. I don't know why you look behind you so long. You need to be able to do this quicker. Turn your, like move your mouse faster. Sorry. Satchels are okay. This first satchel timing is good. Second satchel, you're not looking down all the way, so that's why you're going up. You need to look down all the way, and if you tap it around the same tempo, should be fine. Maybe a little bit later after you throw the second one before you pop it, but you want to go straight. You want the beeline, right? That should be more of your goal. Since you go faster, you land faster. When you go up like this, it takes some time. But anyways, when you satchel in, doing this play, you should have in your mind already to be looking left. You need to clear your left, right? That's what you're worried about, because you know they're here. You know there's people here. You don't know if there's people here. So you look left right now. You should already have left cleared. Now you just look right instantly. And especially since you see Reyna, and then you start turning around, this makes no sense. Like, first off, even if there's someone here, you can probably kill their two teammates before this person reacts and kills you. And second, like I said, you should already have cleared it and you're already ready to fight ramp, because this is where you know they are, and this is where you don't know they are. You can't assume these people have no ears, okay? You're playing like they don't have any ears and no one knows you're here, but obviously Cypher knows you're here, and you die. Reyna should be guaranteed dead here. Should be a 2v2 right here. Maybe a 3v1 if you're able to get Cypher too, which is not unlikely. Anyways, you end up losing this run ends up being lost, which yeah. So I think you know what I mean, but move your mouse faster. Be more prepared for these plays. If you play in a low sense, you have to plan it out even more for yourself. Yeah, it's not so much let me satchel and ape the fuck out of everybody and hope it works. It has to be a bit more methodology to it, like more like I look left then I look right. Okay, we had one extra step there. This bot would be okay if you're trying to see if they're rushing it or not, but because Sage already slowed and you don't hear them running, this bot is bad. Does nothing, right? You're gonna nade on a timing? Great. You're nading when they're breaking the wall, which isn't useful. You want to nade when they're coming up. And when they're coming up, let's say this plays out, you do this a bit differently. Okay, okay, the bot, whatever. You already know the bot is bad. Let's say you hold this a bit longer. You wait. They're shooting the wall, right? Okay, that doesn't matter. This doesn't do anything to you. You hear all of them shooting the wall from a decent distance away. These people are not that close to you. And if you hold your nade a bit, and then wait a bit, and as they're walking up, you nade, and then you peek, you can probably get a kill or two, since people can't see through the nade projectiles for a large part of it. And when you come out, you just need to peek this little cubby first, and then you can swing mid for a second, look for a quick kill, and run away as your nade's popping. These little like timings and things that, if you're good at, that's how you really get value. These are things you just want to try and think about if you can.
Grab me B orb.
So here, you're not really tradable. You're also not in the safe spot. I'm sure you've been one-tapped here like 20 times, right? So it's better to jiggle this or hold it like super fucking tight, because there's a high chance you die here. We'll put it that way. Cypher's coming B. Okay, your Cypher's going to recover.
They're going B.
You hear them beat.
I'm gonna watch mid.
Okay, you should already be looking sight. Like, you can probably catch somebody on the cross. If you hold this angle so you can only see like here to here and not the whole beam, you can probably kill someone when they're crossing. If you just came around earlier. So yeah, now you do what I was talking about, but just a bit later. They end up leaving. People are nerds. Fantastic. You have the bomb, but that doesn't mean you can run around, because there's still 4 people alive, right? You still want to be careful of the noise you're making.
How much we sewers?
So you're playing like you know they're all going to be on the bomb, which is not unreasonable, but you can be a bit more cautious, like walking around and checking things, you know. There could totally be someone lurking mid still.
Could go back there.
They're going. Just tell them that they're going A. Just say they're going A.
TPA.
Like say they're going A. Why are you waiting? You hear this? Omen might hear this. Nobody else knows. This is your job to get that comm out. Anyways, you're walking here. Like, it's unlikely they're coming back, right? Now you realize it's 30 seconds left because the announcer told you. Great. If you could see it earlier, that's better. But it's very unlikely that they're going to be faking this.
Here's some A. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming right now.
Walking around here is fine. You don't want to give it away. Start running, which is...
There's no time stall, Omen.
That's a fine call.
10 seconds left.
There's a guy sewers waiting for you. You're not gonna, no matter what you do there, you will die there probably. Personally, I'd rather have you have just like ran site to go help the Omen stall because Cypher can live, right? But if you expect Omen to stall in a 1v3, that's a bit unreasonable. Okay, so if you should expect Omen to get maybe 1 kill. That's your highest expectation of Omen. Okay, so Omen gets 1 kill and then you run at the smoke and you peek the other 2 and you can probably kill the planner or both of them. Either way, you probably die to this Yoru. Maybe not if you went faster, but that should be your play in mind. Because sitting there waiting, let's say you sit here and wait, and let's say no one flanks you, just sit here and wait like you wanted to do, and Omen get 1-for-1s and dies. Now you're in a 2v2 where the bomb's planted, so it still doesn't favor you. But because they're on a time crunch, if you're there to get ready to help Omen, then you can abuse this scenario and put you more in like a 60-40 spot than a 50-50.
Last player.
Okay. Try to go a little bit faster since it is taking a while, but I hope this is helping. It should help you a lot if you can implement the stuff I've said. Yeah, again, this nade doesn't do much if Omen doesn't blind, because first, you've done it too many times, okay? So they already know they're doing it. They're not going to rush it. If one person's seen it, you're probably doomed. These people look like some of them are in a stack too, which is obvious by the way they play, so just keep that in mind. So here, you're baiting Viper, but you're not even baiting her, right? You're like looking at the edge of the smoke, but if she died there, you would not have traded her. So just if you see her aping down like that already, just take your gun out and follow her. Make sure you can trade. This is okay. If you don't want to come on mid, you want to take the long rotate, that's okay. Omen has a cross and they're in B. This is enough for you to know they are going to go B. If they don't go B here, that's just a troll by them. It's not even that they're playing too slow or something's wrong. So Reyna's in B. Okay, now they're actually canceling. At this point, you can tell they're canceling. After, when Reyna's out, Reyna goes out. Okay, great. You see Reyna die, and by now you don't hear or see enough to tell you that it's still B. If you don't hear anything running the clear stage or running the clear cipher, and nothing's hitting his cage, and he's not fighting anything, you can probably just book it back to A right now. Okay, they still commit. Whatever. Either way, you'd be here in time if you ran back A2. Based on the way they were playing, running back A wouldn't have been unlikely. They do end up committing, which is fine for you. Hold on. Let's talk about this first real quick. You kill Yoru, great. Oh, so I realized I haven't really like nitpicked on your mechanics at all this game. I think they've been fine for the most part. No major issues. The way you peek this angle, there's something to be desired. Cross replacement, I think you know. I think you're aware of this yourself probably. Yeah, crosshair lower, peek him more concisely. Don't wiggle your crosshair and peek. Place your crosshair then peek for the easiest results, easiest time, whatever. So you kill this guy, and you have a timing again on site now. When you kill this Yoru, oh, fuck, I hate how it's 10 seconds instead of 5. But when you kill this Yoru, you can run on a site, and if you're on site, it's so much better than you being in CT. Okay, being in CT is near useless since they're going to use util here, and you can't come in once they're in. But if you can get on site, further take, that's so useful. Like taking B site with 3 on site is much harder than taking B site with a 2 on site, 1 CT for them. Kill this guy. Like satchel in, like just throw satchel to your right, pop it, and then you're instantly next to Sage. Once you're next to Sage, you can just like bait her because they don't know you're there, or you can peek for her. It doesn't matter since she has res, and then you can just fight. You know, like do whatever you want. Stall for time, spam the box. I don't really care. But you not being like you being here is not very useful.
133 Cypher.
Cypher's a robot, and you know you get value off it, but okay. You would have died either way in this scenario because your teammates let someone flank Kevin, but that shouldn't have happened. So assuming that doesn't happen, when you fight site from where Sage is, you'll have so much more like initiative than if you fight from CT, since you can peek from either side of site, whatever timing you want, and they can't plant because they're worried about clearing you, that kind of thing. And you have a satchel to cancel the plant. But yeah, playing from CT is just super obvious, right? You want to avoid things that are obvious whenever you can. Okay, your teammates win. Fantastic. Nade's an okay timing because they look pretty close. There's someone in the cubby, and after fighting Sage, you're probably gonna reload. You nade them. That's great. I don't have an issue with this nade. I wouldn't do it like that every time since you don't directly get value from it, and you broke Cypher's trip. But that timing is okay. You might have missed your nade actually. Did you miss your nade? I think it's better if the slit is tighter and you throw it more towards the right wall, since it bounces instead of bouncing like here, it'll bounce more like deeper. You know what I mean? More to the right. It's a little thing. Although these little things do matter, especially if you do nades like that, since it's the difference between like guaranteed 50 damage and maybe 0 damage. Why do you do this? You hear nothing mid, okay? You don't hear anything. And I don't think once have they all walked up B heaven before. So it's not like this is like you're reading a play. It's just completely silent right now. One footstep. That's still deep mid. And that guy is deep mid, right? So even if he steps and starts walking into heaven, by the time you ulti and run out, he can already run away. And you hear them all running from you like fucking flies. Obviously here you should satchel at them and maybe you'll get a kill. But if you're gonna do this, just stand close to this wall with like your ulti and your satchel ready, and then you can maybe get a more guaranteed kill. And you're like walking and holding, like, I know you want your ult to come out, but like jump around, you know, you're hard to hit when you're jumping, not when you're walk peeking out with your ulti. And then you can probably find more value. Okay, there's no secrets here. I think you think, it looks like for some reason you think they don't know where you are or what you're doing, but you can hear where Ryze ult's from. And just because you're walking doesn't mean they don't think you're here or that you're going somewhere else. So ult, start running, make noise, jump around, go faster, satchel in, you'll probably find somebody to kill here, honestly. Even though you ulted from like a place I wouldn't have ulted from in a weird timing, I think you still would have found someone. Okay, that guy is, there's two things. Either he's like just like stupid as fuck and he has no idea where you ulted from, or he hears you ulti, he knows you're walking, and he's walking up to try and find you. He didn't make noise, right? So he's walking, and in which case he, you know, like he beat you doing what he wanted to do. He wanted to find you, he found you, and I guess he whiffed a little bit, didn't insta kill you, but he dashed and then he killed you after. So his play was good based on what you did, and it worked out for him. Either that or he's stupid, you know, pick one. But again, like save your ult for something more like actionable. It's better when they're all like running up B heaven and you're hiding in the corner, then you ulti and pop out, you know, like I'm sure you know there are ways to get more guaranteed kills with your ulti. It looked like he was AFK, it's so weird. Anyways, now they go back B. This team like cancels really fast. Whenever they get stalled or anything bad happens, they always cancel, so it's like it's not like as easy to read as like someone else would be, but it's not impossible to read either. Here they come B. Sage gets one there. More than she deserved. Running CT. This is okay, but better players would peek her faster or spam her through the smoke. Yes, you could do stairs. Somehow you win this. But yeah, not a huge fan of ulting there. Or the way you executed the ulti. I don't know why for some reason you're always so late to this, but give it a little bit, you know, a little bit more time just so you can make sure you can get it right at the burst. Okay, so here's what I'm saying, right? If you wait at all, they can beat your nade. So this nade, just imagine in your head, right? This nade only works if Omen insta flashes and you insta nade, and that's like, or if you insta nade and then Omen flashes like half a second after. That's the only timing this will get any value. I know what you're trying to do with this, and it doesn't do anything because they can just beat your nade. And maybe not everyone will beat it, but nobody has to take damage from it, and it probably does chip damage in the end because it's kind of like a sky nade. You hear your TP on site, and you threw satchel ramp. Honestly, I'm okay if you swing the smoke and then look to find Yoru. They spam you anyways, but let's see the timing here. Like I said, this bot, you chuck this bot, great, you know geometry. It goes here and it goes out, and everyone kills it a million times, right? It's gonna hit this thing, it's gonna bounce like here. And the whole time they can see it just walking across, it doesn't see them when it's like going down there. And it's gonna bounce around if you're lucky and it clears the area out, but you know what I'm saying, it's not a good bot, it doesn't really do anything. It just takes too much time, it's too long. Better yet, you bounce it out of heaven or something right when they're coming up, and maybe when someone's running down, it'll drop on them from heaven and just insta-kill them. You throw a smoke, you see Ryzhe here, you can run out the smoke. You can run out the smoke and you can look to fight with your Omen. There's there's a good chance you get at least 1 kill here, if not more, if you're better mechanically. And you hear your TP, and you can. I don't know if your satchel's good, but if your satchel's actually in ramp, you can pop it and then swing and then look for Yoru. You get spam, which is it's not quite unlucky since you know it's really easy to spam the heaven smoke. But if it doesn't happen to you often, now you know. Now you've learned from it, hopefully.
We go. Get out of my way.
Again, these kind of plays, these kinds of things you can only really execute if you have good mechanics or if you're confident in them. And if you don't, then you probably shouldn't play duelist, right? It's a bit harsh, but that's the way it is. But those are the kind of things. That's what you can do with this kit. Those are the kind of gaps you can find and potential plays you can make. And they're not going to be technically sound plays that people are going to do in tourneys, but these are plays that can easily work, like very, very likely with a very high chance. If you just jumped on this wall and swung, you would have killed this guy. He's shooting the wall and he saw Sage chuck like jump and throw slow, right? Imagine you're this guy mid, okay? Also, I need to speed this up a bit. It's gonna take way too long. But Sage jumped. She didn't see anything that's too low. But Sage chucks it slow, and this guy's spamming the wall from the back. If you just get on this wall and peek the guy tight, he's probably next to this box right here. You get a free kill. You can just run away. No one even shoots at you. But yeah, bot's not gonna get any value. Okay, I'm glad you didn't throw the nade. This timing makes no sense. You hear them running away from it, not up mid. You know what I mean? Like, so your nades are like pretty much entirely wasted, and so are your bots. So you're not really getting much value for playing the agent you're on. Let me see why. You opt to take it slow because, but like here, you probably have a timing to get into heaven. And like I said, if you're going to win this round, you're gonna need control of like heaven and like you're all in very passive positions. But you and Omen are in places where you can find kills, and it's much easier to just try and go for these kills now than hope for some gaudy retake later. Okay, that's like you're not playing on an actual team. Like these people, you don't really trust them, and it's much more likely you'd have success if you just like ran in on a timing and try to kill someone, and maybe you even can peek sight and catch Reyna crossing because they know where Omen is. They don't know where you are. You know, lots of things you can do here, and only by doing these things a lot will you find out where your limits are. Because the way you're playing this right here, you won't really find out your true limits. You don't play like super passive or anything, but this is like somewhere where you could explore a new limit. Yeah, like, what are the odds you win this round? Okay, think about it. It's a 2v4 now, and your dude's in Africa. But imagine Omen dies, but you're here and you get like 1 kill ramp and 1 kill sight. Now it's so much more winnable. Now you're playing like a 2v2 instead of a 2v4. And then you can wait for a Cypher, say Cypher run up fence and ult the body or something, and then this round's suddenly winnable, you know?
One in ropes.
Last player standing.
Regardless, yeah, that round's pretty unwinnable from that point. You probably just need to be more proactive. Like when you're down numbers or when you're in a deficit, you need to be more proactive to win.
Reloading. Bomb buddy out. Wall raised.
This bot is fine. You don't need to bait this hard. See, look how far ahead Viper is of you and Sage is of you. These are both heroes that you should be entering for. Yeah, I just let's see. So this bot, you can do it while you're running. You take your gun out for some reason. Doesn't really make sense. You take the bot out again. Now you put that bot while you're running, and you just keep running. You keep going. You don't need to stay here and hold the smoke. Your teammates are in front of you already, right? You can hold the smoke while moving backwards, right? You can like track the smoke and then track the smoke while running up and keep running up and look at the smoke if you want. And once it's walled, then you can turn look at sight. Then you can probably nade back sight, or you can nade default box with that bounce nade. You can nade stairs. I don't care, whatever you want. But you're baiting your teammates really hard here.
Wall raised.
Like what you know what I'm saying already.
Blind.
What the fuck is that? Okay. Yeah, I think you know why this is bad, but this nade does not go where you think it's going. There's another corner of the wall there.
Oh, right there.
Spike down. B. Last player
90
standing.
Omen.
Yeah, this is just like a really, really bad pathing. Really poor take. Like, okay, so when Omen blinds you, you can still keep going. You just run around, and if he's close to you, like near this corner, you're gonna see him. You're near sighted, not blind. There's a difference, right? So You come up here, you throw your bot, you're running the whole time. You're backwards. Let's say you're first to get blind. You can wait a little bit for your team, and then you can just strafe left and right. And when Omen peeks and he sees you just moving, he's gonna whiff on you. He's not going to insta headshot you. It's not very likely. And when he starts shooting, then you can shoot him back if you want. You can keep strafing. You can jump. It doesn't matter. But just imagine playing like that instead of what you're doing, and then over like 10 executions, that will get you so much more value overall than stuff like this.
Bomb buddy out.
Yeah, you should be around where Viper is right now. You should be following Viper up. Following Viper up, you tuck in with Viper, that's fine. You want to fight with your bot, that's fine too. Reloading, perfect. Now you're in the right place. This is where you would have been before too. You're mad because all your teammates backed off. You're still at the right tempo. This nade fucks his take really, really hard. I think you're aware of this. Whatever, because now no one can jump in after Sage because only Sage beat your nade, and Sage is gonna die with the bomb. But if you're all dropping on site right now, dude, these side players are fucked. They're not going to hold you. You stay and look for the cam, you know, like no reason to. And also, like, did you get darted? You got darted, right? Yeah. You don't need to pull this. I don't know if you've ever played against a Cypher before, or if you played Cypher before, but when you dart someone and they just blink periodically, if that guy swings on you with those like fucked up blinks, you can win so often because it gives you like a false impression of where they are. It's actually pretty distracting, and it's like not a bad strat at all to entry with the dart on, or just to, like W key with the dart on. It's pretty good. But yeah, this is a round where you have, I think, a fairly decent mid and B take, but you just executed it super poorly. Yeah, I don't dislike this take or this timing at all. There are a lot of people here, but they're all in places where you can easily fight. And if you were a bit faster, you would have beat the CT players. And Sage can maybe slow CT, you can nade CT, Viper can molly CT, whatever. And you probably would have gone the bomb plant down.
Player
90 Omen.
Yeah. You know what you did wrong there. The biggest mistake is a nade, right? But the baiting stuff is pretty bad too. It's like that's like a pattern, and the nade's like a one-time mistake. Yeah, you start walking on now. You keep walking. You can just keep walking here. The guy's in vents. The guy's in vents, right? Your teammates are going, hey, you don't need to take so long. Why you're holding him, but you think he's gonna come back to you? But why would he come back to you here? Okay, your teammates just are booking it. Everybody knows, the world knows. It's on fucking Twitch.tv, and the guy is running from vents. He ran through mid because he doesn't think you're here. If he thinks you're here, he wouldn't run through mid like that. He's running through mid because he's gambling on the fact that you're 5 stacking fucking A. So he goes down vents and you follow him. You follow him faster, and you don't kill him yet, but you kill him just about now after he kills your teammates. You know, better than nothing. Better than this, because now you're like trying to catch somebody here off guard. That's fine, but you get a kill here, you can never win the round here. If you go there, there's a chance you can win the round if you're like nuts with the classic. You know what I'm saying? You're not putting yourself in positions where you can actually win a round. Now you know the strip is here. I hope you know for the future. And your lurk is useless now. It's doomed. Just run around and end this round so you can play the next round, honestly. The way you peek this is pretty bad. If he's actually holding you, you're gonna get shit on. You have to... I like to jump down in case someone's underneath, and then I walk tight to this wall and then pick one of the ropes to climb up. When you peek it from the back, you're not favored since they see your legs first. No, why? This bot is actually okay. Just something I personally wouldn't do because you're in a 1v3 and the odds of you winning this round are so low. But it's definitely possible to win this. So this bot isn't that bad. It's just something I personally wouldn't do. So you can take it however you want to take it. Whether you want to do it or not, up to you. Personally, I would just not do it. Because as you're pulling the bot out, you still have a classic. You can get swung at any time. And if you waste a bot, that's $200 you don't get next round. You know someone's flanking, that's good. But you heard them so deep mid. They're not that fast. You don't need to worry like this quickly. The timing isn't there. You need to get this bomb. That's your priority right here. Yeah, also, I don't know what you're holding. You're like looking at the wall for something, but yeah, just hold the guy. Hold him. You'll probably win.
Omen smoke vents.
This take is garbage. They've already known that you're a 5-stacking team, right? They've seen you 5-man rush everything already, so they know you're gonna 5-man things. So if you keep doing this, they're just gonna insta-rotate like the Omen did last round, and he's gonna kill all your teammates because your lurk is not on the right timing either, and your teammates are just not as aware of the lurk. The fast rotate, I mean, sorry. But whatever, just chuck a nade and double satchel in, man. Satchel here for the trip, fantastic. Okay, The longer you wait, the less likely this is to work.
Don't have to commit. Don't have to
Okay,
commit.
that's fine. Canceling is fine too. If you wanted to commit that, that's how you do it. You probably just double slash shot with a nade. Crouch your place and work on that. Your crosser should not be up here when you peek that. You don't need to crouch and slide and peek it too. Just swing tight. Hold your crosser right. Like just place your crosser on the wall where this is through the wall. Just swing super tight counter strafe and take a shot. You should almost be pre-firing this corner. If someone's actually there, you're going to destroy them. The way you play that, you're getting destroyed. It's a good habit to have in the overall. You also walk peek this angle, which is really bad. If someone's actually playing here, you die 100%. You're dead. Yeah, you just want to check your angles one by one. You don't need to peek this wide. You like to crouch, slide, and peek things, which is not good in this game, and it's unnecessary. If you just peek this really tight, have your crosshair on the right place. If you have anything that resembles a reaction time, you will win this if your crosshair is on the dude, and he's not hopping. The way you're playing this, you are like 40-60 to rifles, if not 30-60, 30-70, and ops will to kill you every single time. Yeah, so there's no reason this guy should be playing here. Okay, I'll start with that. But it's just a good habit just to clear everything mid. Because you can clear that guaranteed from up the stairs. Anyways, your teammates somehow win this round. God knows why, but
Smoke it for us, Omen.
you haven't done anything at this round. As long as you're aware, you're kind of been walking around. I know you like to default this bot, but if your bot's not going in first and you're not going behind it, it doesn't really do much because your teammates are going to see them first anyways. If anything, no, never mind. This bot is okay. What? You're doing this nade again? What? I assume you're trying to get it in here, which is not a bad nade, but you can just walk out and throw it. You don't need to be so cute with it, you know? Ends up nading hell somehow, which... It's not, wait, is that intentional? Did you mean it? If you maybe meant to nade hell, that's not nearly as bad. Okay, this looks like it might actually be an intentional hell nade. In that case, that's fine. Nading hell here is solid. Leave that satchel there, go inside. Yes, sir. Perfect. I don't care that you die here. I don't care you're blind. This is good. This is what you need to do. You give your teammates info and they kill. You got flash there, unlucky, right? But if you keep going, you'll hit the timing still. I don't know what your Viper is fucking doing, honestly. Oh, the Omen ulted? So you know your teammates are baiters, so if you don't want to satchel like that, it's fine. But that is a good play. That is like your quote-unquote job as a Ryze player. So, no fault on you there. And the nade looked like it was intentional, so that's a pretty decent nade, actually. You should keep doing that. Unless you think they don't play hell and they play stairs instead, you want to nade stairs so you can get insight, then that nade might be better sometimes, but totally situational. You walk peek that corner. Okay, you die there. Yeah, practice. Whenever you see yourself do something like that, where you just like mispeek or misvisualize an angle, just put it in your head and don't do it again. And try your best to keep fixing it. And the more refined you get, the less you're going to like incorrectly peek things like that. What? This guy's naded wall advance every round, man. You don't hear anyone invent side though. This nade is not not valuable, right?
Oh my god.
Wait, Sage is doing that every round.
Nah, yeah, Owen called you out on that too. I don't know why you need to unpeak to throw Sasha, you know, like just stay peaked, like stay a bit more forward. Proper trading this game means you're literally hugging your teammates. Like you are like on Sage's shoes. You can look down and like fucking lick them. That's how close you're gonna be to actually trade somebody. At this distance, if Sage dies, you're not trading here, you're taking your own 1v1 after. It's different. You want to be trading when you do these takes. Like, you can beat 5 stacks of Radiant players just by doing executes and trading. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to even default. If you are actually trading properly and you're good at trading and working together, you can beat whoever you want. But it's hard to trade properly, right? You catch up to Sage, which is great. You end up going Hell, which I'm not a huge fan of because your dude's already like out B main. You need to help this guy. He came out, you help him. It's as simple as that. If he's lurking and jerking off, then maybe you can go here if you really want. But you don't have that fast of a timing. You're not doing anything super unexpected. You don't even have any sight control. These people think you're in heaven, not that you're in sight. So as long as that's the case, this play is not a good play. I wouldn't consider it a good play.
One more CT.
Yada yada. You lose. It's a coin flip. If you're counting your teammates to win something like that, it's just a coin flip, right? Do it yourself, and then you'll gain the most elo.
Get out of my way.
Okay, if you want to do this earlier. Also, I don't know why you're giving here your gun. I know that you have ulti and stuff, but you don't need to play for yourself a bit harder too. Play for yourself, but also don't bait as hard. Okay, it's a contradiction kind of, but you know what I'm saying, I think. This bot, again, not great. Doesn't really do anything. Okay, it would be okay if you were taking this, but someone called to cancel. I don't know if you reacted to it or not, but if you didn't, then this bot is whatever. If you did, not good. Okay, now you've done this utility. Now what? Now what? You know this bot cleared whatever this close area. You know somebody's not currently on ramps. Now what has your utility done? If you can't answer it, it's probably a waste. Like, do something with it. That setup you did is okay if you want to just rush A, and then nade maybe helps your teammates get in sight. But if you're not rushing A, then this doesn't do anything. Also, if you ever do want to rush A, something I like to do is I like to stand on this box here, that little like boosted metal box, and just do a double satchel. It gets you either to like here in A main or like here in ramp. And usually I go A main, and if someone's playing close with like utility or playing off audio, you will shit on them because you're just like landing on their head. And then your teammates are coming right after the trade. And that's if you tell everyone to hold W or going A, that's what you do. No canceling, no jerking off. It either goes or it doesn't. That kind of thing. Anyways, your utility's wasted now. This guy waited your nade out and then he flashed you. But you have no extra ground. You get no value from this. They've been giving you mid every single round. So mid is your strong point here. Actually, Sage walling vents is good for them because now they know you have to go B heaven. This wall is bad because they're giving you mid control and you're limiting your options. This is more of like a team play thing, okay? But if you see this, you can call Sage out on it. It's gonna be harder to recognize in game, but yeah. Like I said, they think you're 5-manning noobs, so they're just gonna push the site they don't see you at because you made so much noise and they know you are on day. Also, this ulti should never kill this dude. He's far back. He's not close, right? So why would he peek you here? Why would he die to this?
I have the spike.
If you do take the gun, it's okay, but odds are after you kill Sage, he's not gonna keep peeking and re-peeking. You know, it's like kind of a win trade, and these people don't seem like fucking inters. So you can probably save this ulti for something more useful. Okay, it's good. You know how to shoot it before it pops. Okay, by the way, running here, this dude knows where you are. When you go mid and you get your stuff, fantastic. Just start walking back in the sewers. But you just told this guy you went up mid to get the gun, and then you're running back sewers to go A. Like, this guy hears your whole story. Like, your whole fucking... This guy's on ramps, man. Look how wide the circle is. People from all of fucking America can hear you, you know? You take that rope too. Holy shit. Now you start walking, but what do you expect to happen from this, you know? Also, you keep crouch peeking this. Okay, get this habit, undo this habit. This is probably the most directly useful thing you can get from this. Don't do this anymore because it's no matter what little situations you've had where it works for you, this is really bad fundamentally, and it's just don't do this anymore, okay? In CS:GO, this is playable, but it's not something you always do. It's like wide swinging every single angle. It's just it's a waste of life. Just walk out, hold him, like swing it tight, peek the angle properly, and then keep walking while holding the angle. Just watch some of the pros play. Nobody ever does this for a good reason. Okay, and that's all. You can just mimic any pro you want pretty much. But yeah, I think because of this, you might have lost this fight. Like, you're crouch walking around, like, and then, yeah, it's just it's not something you want to be a habit. So if it is a habit, which it looks like it is, then try and fix it. Best way to fix it is go play the DM and unbind crouch. Unironically, play like a few hours of DM. I'm not joking when I say a few hours. It'll definitely help your mechanics because you look like your flicking is okay, but your tracking, spray control, and like it looks like your general just mouse movements aren't super fluid. So the more DM you play, the more you'll get benefit from that. And once stuff like cross replacement, peeking angles properly, these are all things that DM helps you out a fuck ton on, and you can benefit from a lot. And once you have that proper like gunplay fundamental down, then your strength of like whether you can flick or not will come more into hand. But the way it is now, you're just kind of gambling whether or not you're gonna win fights. And you peek really wide. You want to just tighten it up a bit. Just you peek things to peek one thing, not to peek 10 things, you know? I don't know what Okay, I think watching this back, you realize what are you doing? But yeah, now you realize somehow you confuse them into whiffing. But yeah, you know, I'm sure you know that wasn't.
You got the thing, and I'll do the other thing, okay?
Okay, this is getting a bit long, so I will kind of speed it up a bit. You hold A flank here, great. Your teammates are all going B. You're still here. You start walking out when your teammates are like on B already planning. Lurk is too late. Okay, sorry, I started that up too much since this is kind of new info. So, other team knows you like the 5-man, right? And your teammates are 5-man in B right now, pretty much. As soon as they hear, they're going to leave A. So as soon as you hear anybody leave A, or if you don't hear anything at all, you can just go. You can just keep walking. And this lurk is fine. I'm not a fan. I'd rather you lurk through mid because you're gonna take fucking forever. But that's about it. The guy flashes A, sees nothing. You already hear him running. He's running. Your teammates have already shown presence B. Knife out, walk. Nobody's even holding you. Like it's so unlikely anybody is holding you here. I can't see your teammates, but I think they're taking site. This is like when people say like OMG duelist lurking Omega lol. This is where the meme is, right? Not to be mean, but yeah, so just keep in mind what you're doing. Because if your teammates take this site and you're this slow, you get no value from where you are. If your teammates fail to take this site and you're still so slow, you get no value again because you didn't even go anywhere. So no matter what happens, you don't get any value playing like that. So you just want to be a bit quicker. Especially because you've shown a trend of 5-manning, right? You're running now, which is okay, but if you just sped this up earlier, you probably would have been more on time. This probably still works out for you. Oh no, your teammates just get fucking mowed down because they do this bronze wall. Like, I'm not a fan of this wall. I don't think it's necessary. Besides the point, you're not playing Sage. Either way, as soon as they tap it, you gotta run. I know you want to be sneaky, and it's just... You're in a 1v4. It's fucked, honestly. I'll be real with you. If you can get a nade on that wall to hit default, that's your only win con right here. Yeah, you're not gonna win this. Just too slow. I just don't agree with you lurking A in the first place. Unless you're planning to fucking run pretty quick, because the dude is running from A to B. So if you're running behind him, he's not gonna hear you. Honestly. This looks more like a default. What the fuck am I? What the fuck? This guy opts to kill the bot instead of you. Whatever, man. But yeah. That guy's a win trader. Flash all the trips. Get a little bit of ground here. And then... Yeah, perfect. You didn't hit a trip. I think your satchel might not have been deep enough, but... or he might just not have had one there, so that's fine. Everything you're doing they can hear, by the way. You're making enough noise for Heaven to hear you from Africa. I'm sure you were playing Heaven earlier. You know what they can hear. So... just walk a bit and make up your mind. You're walking back and forth, being 360s. Like, just decide on something, you know? It doesn't matter if it's wrong or right, but just have a bit more initiative. You lose, fine, whatever. Ideally, you win that. That's just a gunplay thing. Let's go over how you peeked it real quick before I go to the next round, since it's kind of early. But you ran all the way up to this point. So this guy who's on site is holding you. He just heard you run a second ago. So you're walking straight into this guy's crosshairs, and he's ready as fuck.
I'm gonna teleport.
You don't peek this properly. You walk peek the entirety of B site. Like, it doesn't seem like you're playing as many ops because this is, like, well, ops punished the hardest. But when you do this, you swing, you peek this corner first with this wall. You swing a bit wider with your crosshair right, you peek this corner with this wall. And then you swing super tight and you peek this corner with this wall. So a bit more to your right. And each time you do this, your crosshair is super placed properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you've watched some pro players play who can do this. You want to do that, and if you're too lazy to do it, then get less lazy. It's just you have to do it if you want to be good at this game. Because if you do this, like, you're trusting your game sense or your aim or something, but it's just you can't win from that position. It won't happen. Wow, somehow you guys win. Lovely. You're ecoed here? I don't know how much money you had, but I would have rather you bought like a rifle no armor, rifle light armor, Spectre armor. This seems ambitious because the way you peek things isn't really... The people who are best at using the sheriff are people who peek things super properly and have really good movement and crosshair placement. And those don't seem like your strengths, so buying this seems like just giving yourself a lesser chance of winning this round. But once you work on those things, buy the deagle you want, right? But it is something where you need to have really good fundamentals to use to the maximum. I'm sure you've seen, like, I don't know, Proto, all the good CS players. Like, the reason Deagles are valuable in their hands is because they peek everything properly, and that's how this gun gets value. Like, this is what they do around the map. Yeah, you know, that's fine. You almost had him, he late peeked you, whatever.
Spike down mid.
So, your teammates are getting rolled mid, you have a Deagle, and your bomb is stuck in vents. Honestly, take this fight against Yoru, it's your 1v1. If you don't win, like I said before, if you don't win this, you're not going to win this round. Okay, there's just no chance you're winning this round if you're not going to win this fight. Yeah, you're shooting CP, but first you didn't kill it, and second, like, what does it do, right? Think about what it does. It doesn't do anything, and he's holding you this whole time. And if you just swung with your crosshair properly and fought him, you might just 1-dig him, and then you can just run into sight, maybe get into hell, and then you can get the bomb back later. But the way you play that, there's no world you can win
God damn.
the round, you know? Your goal should be winning the round, not your KD, not how you want to play. Your goal is just winning the round.
Bomb buddy out.
Bot's okay. If anyone's there, they can peek you faster than that, though. Nades okay. Satchels are good. You know that guy's kind of close. You missed your second satchel. That's unfortunate. Let's see who hit this satchel. So, Nade's fine as long as it lands anywhere near elbow and the guy can't peek you. It's okay. Now, personally, I satchel into elbow here. You might take some nade damage, but it's gonna be worth it for the timing, if you want to call it, the flank you can have. Satchel here. I think you jump too late on your first one. The second one, you don't pop fast enough, but essentially you don't go anywhere. But let's say you are elbow. If you walk back here, you probably kill this Jet and this Reyna, since I think Reyna's also on site, right? No, Reyna's in heaven, but yeah, you probably kill Jet there, and maybe you can kill Reyna after, and now it's a 2v2 instead of whatever this is. Okay, you guys are 5-manning a B. This guy, what the fuck? Whatever, dude. I mean, even if there's somebody, even if this slow hit, it's dog shit, because you can tell them how Yoru plays, right? He late peeks B main, so just hold it for a bit longer than you usually do. And if he doesn't peek, he's not going to be here. And then you can walk up. But, like... yeah, it's whatever. You do the same bot every time, you know, maybe switch it up once in a while, since hasn't really got any value yet. I don't think it's awful because it tells you where people are to some degree. Look, you know he's backside opping? Just take your nade and chuck it backside and spam the fucking shed. Like, you can do so much damage to him, maybe you can even kill him. But when he shoots that op, you can just swing out and hold him too. If you have good crosshair placement and you're not super slow, you can kill oppers when they peek you very easily. It's in your favor, not theirs. But anyways, you're just gonna get run down here. Like, you had B control. Now you're wrapping B to go back A, but how do you go A here, right? They've already pushed A. They either pushed A or they rotated all over, and regardless of what it is, like, they're going to beat you back to A or match your timing A, because like, Vents is walled off, they can hear everything, and your bomb's still stuck here, and your teammates have never once canceled or faked a sight. So, it's like a lot of things that make it impossible for you to make this play work. Like I said, to win this round, you gotta kill that B player behind the shed. You have ulti, you have nade, just fucking nade him, ult him, just kill him, you know? Like, there's some fights you just have to win, no matter how much you don't want to take them. Because if you're only looking for easy fights, you just can't win certain games, because your teammates aren't going to put you in positions where you can win these easy fights all the time.
I know exactly.
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
But yeah, there's just a lot of like issues in the way you play. Just like there's some like min-maxing stuff with the util, that's great. But the other issue is it doesn't seem like you're not recognizing things you have to do to win the round. I know it's like a point I didn't emphasize as hard earlier, but the biggest things I want you to work on are your crosshair placement, your movement, how you peek things, and that's one category, just a mechanical like taking fight category. And the other one is sometimes you need to do things to win rounds. So that's taking these fights that maybe you're not used to taking. They're not even bad fights, because holding an opper is like a 70-30 for you, but because you're not used to taking it, you don't take it. So realizing the things, you just have to, sometimes you just have to take a fight to win the round. If you're like in a 3v4 and you have a 1v1, that's in your favor, take it. Since they have numbers on you, if you can find any 1v1 that's like fairly even, just take it, right? And the better you can get at fighting these types of fights you don't like, the more options you're going to have and the more success you'll have in general. Yeah, I mean, that's about it for the VOD review. I think this would help you. It's actually probably one of the most things I've ever pointed out before. Not because you're like worse than anybody, but just because a lot of the things that a lot of the things that you do that show weakness are things that I play the opposite way, so it's very apparent to me. It's just a coincidence, nothing too special. But yeah, hope this helped. Any questions, feel free to ask me.